gotta figure out what music I can play, y'all, because I don't know what music I can play. You know how some people be on live and they be having a little music in the background? Yeah. Y'all let me know how I can do that. Hey, shifters, how y'all healing? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Happy Saturday. It is day 5. I am a little pooped actually. But I'm committed to getting on here and being live with y'all, honey, because I done had a morning this morning, okay? From my power being out. So I said, okay, Lord, you want me to just wind on down a little while longer? So that's what I did. Um, Today, okay, let me get my little notes and stuff together here. I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that this space is for the dreamers and the doers, right? Um, those that are wearing many, many hats and those that are looking for ways to unpack. So every day we're going to be unpacking what's really going on beneath the hustle and giving you a mindset shift and affirmations to go along. I am going to get started. I want you guys to get your pens and papers ready. Y'all know your notebooks, your journals, whatever it is that you use to stay on track. And as I get my notes here, hold on, because, honey, the way things have been set up. Let me see if I got some action on here. And on my Instagram. Hey, y'all, Instagram. I love to see it. How y'all healing? Okay. So I'm really loving this StreamYard, but I was having this conversation with some friends yesterday, and I realized that technically I am not, well, it's a technicality. I'm live, however, it's also being recorded. So, like, what I'm going to do starting not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday, but starting on Monday, I am going to post what time I'm going live to give people the heads up. Because I think what's happening is I'm going live and it appears to be kind of random. So, for my followers who are used to me going live, they probably like, what? She don't ever go live. What's she talking about? So 2 things. And I wanted to do the recording so that for people who obviously couldn't get on the live can go back and watch them. I do suggest kind of watch them in order because there is kind of a method to my madness. And each day we're kind of building on another thing. So hold on one second, y'all. Okay, so everybody has their pen and pad. We can take that message down. And wanted to just read this little, excuse me, this message that I had about when the hustle hides the hurt. So sometimes we keep moving so fast, building, creating, solving, leading, that we don't even realize that we're running on empty. So I'm going to say to entrepreneurs, we are masters of pushing through, but there are moments when that constant grind can mask something deeper, a heavy fog, a lack of motivation, emotional numbness, a disconnect from ourselves. And we don't always call it by name. We just say, "Oh, I'm tired," or "I'm in a slump," or "I'm not feeling like myself." And really, that is depression. And I'm just saying that this one time, and you won't hear me say that word because I don't like to put names on things that I feel like are kind of like we all go through them, if that makes sense. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're gonna have to rewind back so you can hear that word because I won't say it again. But I like to look at it like if it's not a setback, it's a signal. I call it a shift, for you to pause, to realign, to check in, and figure out what's happening with you. Why do you want to separate yourself? Why are you so tired? Right. And so when we think about that term, that's what I want you guys to think about because it is a silent battle to success. So, some of the causes of that is isolation, chronic stress, and feeling unfulfilled. So, one of the things that I notice about entrepreneurs and in my work that I do, and just talking with people in general, having conversations, there is this isolation that happens when entrepreneurs get focused. And I think sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it. However, I need for you guys to start paying attention to that because when you isolate yourself, you don't leave room for vulnerability for people to assist you. When you isolate yourself, you don't leave room for vulnerability for people to assist you. And as entrepreneurs, we got it. Like, I don't need no help. I can do this, I can do that, I can do all the things. And I feel like probably for a large number of entrepreneurs, that has been the case. And that has been, what we do, right? We will continue to, try to do all things on our own. What I'm going to say to you from personal experience is that is not the way. Um, I did a speaking engagement a little while back, and one of the things that I was talking about is that we have this idea that, oh, I'm a boss, I'm, the CEO, but really the bosses and the CEOs not doing all of those things, right? They have delegated, they have assigned tasks to people, they have, hired assistants and, you know, accountants and all of the things that one needs to run a business. They have kind of outsourced those things so that they can focus on the actual business at hand. So just keep that in mind, that it's okay to ask for help and not participate in this silent battle behind success of like, I got to do all these things with that word that I'm not going to say again. So y'all really going to have to watch the whole thing to know what word I'm talking about. I know I got to put my gloss on. So, ways to cope from the causes, the isolation, the chronic stress, and the feeling unfulfilled. You want to build a support network. Don't do it alone. To my point of what I was just speaking about. So, for example, as an entrepreneur, I have some peers that are therapists. I have peers that are in real estate. I have peers that own businesses, that own, like restaurants and things of that nature. You want to surround yourself with people who are entrepreneurs, but that also do other things than what you do. And then you can tap into, the resources and the experiences that they have so you guys can have some conversation. We're not talking about trauma bonding here. Okay. We're talking about having good, healthy conversations around business, bouncing ideas off of one another, and things of that nature. So build a good support network. Do not do it alone. Next is to engage in activities that bring you joy outside of work. And if you watch one of my recent podcasts, I had a guest on. Her name is Yolanda Williams, one of my girls. She does real estate. And what I love about her is that she is able to do her real estate thing, other business that she has, but she also is able to incorporate having a good time. Like they do like coffee meetups where, they'll meet up at like a little coffee shop or a restaurant and do content together, and brainstorm ideas and network amongst each other and outsource. Like, she'll be like, hey, I know somebody that does this, or vice versa. So getting engaged in activities that bring you joy, that are outside of work. Hobbies. Can you list hobbies that you enjoy doing? As entrepreneurs, sometimes we forget to have fun, and we have to do that, y'all. So you have to, like for me, I'm just going to name a couple. Roller skating. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been roller skating in probably about 6-8 months or so. But I love roller skating. So one of the things that I'm tasking myself with in this second quarter is to make sure that I get skating at least once or twice in the second quarter. I'm even in a skate group on Facebook. When I tell you them girls be having a time, honey, they be having a time. And so I'm going to get involved in the skate group so that I can participate. I also have been thinking about learning to golf and pickleball. So take some time this afternoon when you get done watching this and write down a list of activities that you want to do. This is something that I talk about in my program, but also it's coming back up even more because of the book that I'm reading, The Artist's Way. So definitely thought I would share that. So engage in the activities that bring joy outside of work. And then thirdly, seek professional help if needed. There's no shame in going to therapy. Seek professional help if you need it. Do not try to figure things out on your own. One of my biggest suggestions that I make to people is that it's okay to have a therapist. I don't want to say on call, but like someone that you can reach out to that you've done an intake with, and you've had some conversations. Maybe you've done, typically they say around 6 to 8 sessions, kind of gets you stable, gets you back on the horse, if you will, and able to kind of continue to move on with whatever situation you may have going on at that time. So once you do that, then that person is someone that's in your Rolodex that you can call and say, hey, I need a session. I have something called emergency or crisis session where you can book an appointment within 24 hours. However, I would have had to have been working with you. We would have had to done intake and all of that. And that is just sometimes life be lifing. And you need to have that conversation, and you need to sort through some things, or you just might need somebody to just listen. Sometimes the therapist is just there to listen. We're not necessarily going to be providing any information, because as you're talking through whatever the situation is, you're likely going to be able to figure it out on your own. And we're just kind of that support person, or that what's the other word? It was just on the top of my head. Accountability, right? We're the person that's going to hold you accountable and be like, I don't know if that's what you said you were going to do, but so let me put that on the screen for you guys. Build your support network. Don't do it alone. Engage in activities that bring you joy outside of work, and seek professional help if needed. There is no shame in therapy. Okay. Everybody got that? You're not broken, you're evolving, and every season, light or heavy, is a part of the shift. I love that. I put those 3 points up there. I think I might have took it down too fast for you guys, so you can make sure you screenshot or take a note of that. And just remember, you are not broken, you're evolving in every season, whether it is light or heavy. It is a part of the shift. And you always hear me say, the shift is happening now. Yes, it is. I have another, get your pen and paper out again. Just keep the pen and paper out. I'll keep reminding y'all about that. Here's an affirmation. Y'all ready for this? I honor how I feel, even when I can't name it. And when you hear me talking about that word that I said it one time and I wasn't going to keep saying it, because what I don't want people to do is to think that that is who they are, right? Because what I'm trying to make clear is that we all experience a level of that at some point in our life, in our careers, in business, entrepreneurship, parenthood, all the things, right? So we all experience it. Now, to have a diagnosis, right? So let me go back. We all have some of the symptoms at times, right? To have a full diagnosis means that it's going on for a period of time. And I would have to double check in my DSM, but I believe it's 6 months or more or something like that. So if something is going on and you feel like you can't get out of that rut and it's going on for that long of a period of time, you definitely should be seeking out some professional help. However, my point today is that everybody has symptoms of those experiences, and there are ways, for example, the things that we're talking about today that can help you get through those things. So one thing you can do is affirm yourself. I honor how I feel, even when I can't name it. I give myself permission to pause, to breathe, and to shift into what I truly need. Save that affirmation. I do affirmations every day. I'm going to put it in my message because I got that. I believe the Hood Healer posted this. Let me see if I can find it real quick for you guys and tell you the name of it. It is called Bob Baker's Inspiration Project. It is on Apple Music. I'm sure it's probably on other things, but the affirmations for success, abundance, confidence, and health. And so every morning while I'm making up my bed, I am saying those affirmations. And then also when I get in the shower, I have some shower affirmations. And then I also will, if I didn't finish it by the time I'm done making up the bed, I will put it on, leave it on while I'm in the shower and go through those affirmations every morning. Yes. Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining. Okay, let me see. Now, next message is about breaking the habit of self-sabotage. And I only have about 4 minutes left because y'all know my goal is to just do 21 minutes, 21 days for 21 minutes. So I'm always trying to get these points to you guys right away. So how to break the habit of self-sabotage. And that is something that we all do. I have to figure out this screen thing. I may not be able to do it today, but just give me 1 second, y'all. Because I did a screenshot of some signs of self-sabotage. So let me just see if it'll let me drop it, and then let me see if I can add it. We gonna see, y'all. We trying to be fancy up in here, okay? We are trying to be fancy. And hey, there we go. I love this. So, okay, let me take this other thing off of the screen here. So 10 signs of self-sabotage. And this is to my point of breaking the habit of self-sabotage. So if we look at these, and you guys can screenshot this came from Dr. King Munich, I believe on Instagram. And sometimes if I'm scrolling or looking at something, I'll say some things that I feel like are relevant. And this happened to be one of the things that I found related to this topic. So signs of self-sabotage: when you negative self-talk, when you have self-destructive behaviors, when you constantly seek distractions or are engaging in time-wasting activities, lack of boundaries, difficulty saying no or setting clear boundaries. We'll continue to be talking about that. Holding on to limiting beliefs about oneself or the world. Now, this one is big because I think as entrepreneurs, sometimes we will put things in our head like, well, why do I deserve this? Or why do I need to be, doing this thing? Or why didn't this happen like this for me? And those are limiting beliefs that can definitely hold you back. Holding on to baggage of the past. For example, if something didn't work out and you're like, oh my God, that didn't happen the way I thought it happened. For example, for me, there are a couple people that I've been wanting to have on the podcast that the times just have not aligned. And so one of the things I'm saying to myself is I'm not self-sabotaging. I'm just like, you know what, Lord, when it is supposed to happen, it's going to happen. And that is where I'm leaving that at. So I'm not beating myself up like, man, this person should have did this or this person should have did that. It just wasn't the time. Holding on to the baggage of the past, fear of failure, perfectionism, trying to control everything, and comparing yourself to others. Now, let me see. I'm going to remove that from the set. Oh, look at there, honey. I'm working this thing out, okay? So, some takeaways for those sabotaging thoughts and behaviors is 1, your fear of failure and fear of success are two sides of the same coin. Your fear of failure and fear of success are two sides of the same coin. Remember that. Your inner voice can be your best friend or your biggest enemy. You have to choose wisely. Because what we say to ourselves, and I'm sure you've heard me say, and you've probably heard other people talk about being mindful of our words and our thoughts as well, because what we think and what we say can come to life. Like, that is a real thing, right? So I'm very careful about that, very careful about what I speak into the universe and about what my thoughts are, which is why I do the affirmations and things of that nature. So your inner voice can be your best friend or your biggest enemy. You get to decide. And then the last thing is to start recognizing your self-sabotaging patterns, then interrupt them. And hold on, y'all, because I don't know if that one's going to let me be great. So we might just need to type that in. Number 3. See how you try to be prepared and then something happened. But we're just going to keep on moving. Recognizing. We don't want to spell that wrong. Let's take the caps lock. Your self-sabotaging patterns and then interrupt them. Okay. So y'all got it? That was 3. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope everybody has taken notes today. I want you to remember that you do not have to have it all figured out. You have to be willing to shift one thought, one choice, and one breath at a time. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, day 6. I can't believe we're on day 5, but tomorrow is day 6 of this series. And I want you to remember your peace is not a luxury. It is a power move. Keep shifting your day, your power, your shift. And I want you to remember the shift is happening now.